So let's start from the early beginning. Junior high school, 136. All right, and so I'm in the 6th grade, and I am collecting 45s. I'm buying them, and I'm playing at the little clubs, the little hooky parties and everything, and just playing 45s for them. And I didn't know I was a DJ then. I had the records, and I just played it. And a lot of people were dancing, and they would invite me out, bring your records, and I'll bring my stack of 45s and all that. And that's when I didn't know, but I kind of felt that vibe, like, wow, this is cool what I'm doing. And I got really popular with that. As I got older and went into junior high school, now you're talking 71, I'm in junior high school. I graduated in 74. So when I got older, now I was old enough to try to pass as an 18-year-old, 19-year-old, 20-year-old to get into the clubs. I still didn't have no facial hair, but I was able to pass myself to get in. And I was hearing about all these DJs, and it was fascinating to me because I met a guy named Francisco Diodonet, and Francisco Diodonet used to be a dancer, and he used to dance with a group called the Latin Cimbales. And Eddie Ramonde, George Vascones, Dante, all of them were part of that group. And it was just fascinating to see them dance because now I'm going to different parties. And these parties were in house parties, basements, stuff like that. Disco was blowing up. We're hearing it all over the place. And the real club that I went to was the 310 and a half. And the 310 and a half was like on the second landing. So it was on Westchester Avenue near Prospect. And we used to go up to that club and everybody was dancing. And now look, I didn't know how to dance. So now I had to learn how to dance. And my man Frank is saying, I'm going to teach you how to dance. So, as I'm learning to dance, there was several dancing happening there. So people were hustling and people were dancing. You see guys dancing toward each other, and they were doing a different type of dance that was just now I could say it was the beginning of breaking, the beginning of popping, the beginning of all that stuff was back then, but I didn't know it then. All I'm seeing is that guys got some moves and everything, so they're doing all kind of moves and everything, and I was just like, man, this is just great and fascinating. I threw myself into the music and started learning more about the aspects of DJing and trying to find out where this guy getting these records, because now he's playing music, and if I went to the store every single week, I got money. I used to go to the supermarket and carry people's groceries, and that's how I was making my money. And with that money, I was able to go and buy some records. Now, out of high school, I became a bank teller afterwards. And when I became a bank teller, now I'm getting a nice, decent check. And I started to go to these clubs and dress up. And, we used to wear, you had the Playboy shoes, short skin, pants, all that. You had to be dressed to the nine. When you went to any of these clubs, you had to be dressed. You couldn't go with jeans or sneakers or anything. That was not, you wouldn't even get in. You wouldn't get in. And when you went to the club, and this is fascinating because today when you walk into a club, people are on their phone, they're sitting down and all that. When you went to a club back then, everybody was dancing. And the best dancers dance with the best dancers. If you didn't know how to dance, bro, ain't nobody you be dancing with your boy because nobody's picking you to dance. Especially the girls. The girls were very picky and they were dressed to the nine. Everybody, Italian down, the French down clothes. We spent money. My pants would cost me, I think, like $40, $50 a pair of pants. Back then, $40, $50. It's like $100 now. So the style was there. The dancing was there. The music was there. And I started following DJs. And my first DJ that I met was John Jellybean Benitez. I met him at La Mariposa. La Mariposa was over there by Dykeman Street. And when I saw him, my boy Frank knew him and brought me to the booth, and I saw him and I looked at his records. every record was crossed off. And I said, how does this guy even know what record he's playing? But every time he mixed, it was flawless. Now, if you're a real DJ, you know that at that time, that everybody was using a Bozak mixer. So Bozak is pots. For you people that don't know, pots, okay, a knob. GLI came out later on with the slide, which is more when people were able to scratch and go back and forth with records and all that stuff, but that was later. The first mixer were the pots. All this stuff was happening in front of me. So imagine, I'm learning about equipment, I'm learning about the music, I'm learning about DJs. I go around to every DJ that I could find. I'm going to different clubs. So I'm going to the Starship Discovery one. I'm going to La Maganet. I'm going to the Ipanema. I'm going to all these clubs and I'm listening to all these various DJs. T. Scott, Frankie Knuckles, Tony Humphrey, Scotty Blackwell, all these guys, the phenomenal DJs. But what made them even better was the music. Where the hell were they getting the music from? If I'm going to the store and I'm buying records, and I said, where is music coming from? So one day one of the guys talked to me, and when I said, well, like the DJ, we're talking. I'm in the DJ, but I said, yo, where did you get this from? I got it from the record company. Got it from the record company? How you get it from the, oh yeah, man, I go, you want to go one day? You know, let me introduce you. A guy named David Rodriguez from South Soul Records. David Rodriguez was a promoter for South Soul then. And South Soul Records was hot at that time. Every record they were coming out with was a hit. And he said, well, why don't you come to my office this week and I'll give you, you know, a little bundle. When I went to his office, he gave me a stack. He said, why don't you call my friend Howard from Casablanca. Call him up, here's his number, and go to his office. And before you know it, I found myself in a stream of DJs, all the professional DJs. They will go. Monday they had a place to go to. Tuesday they had a place to go to. Wednesday they had. In a week they will stack up 50, 60 records of all promotional copies. Stuff that wasn't even in the store. And these records were extended versions. So when you heard on the radio was an album cut. When you heard in the club was a whole different record. So everything, if you're a real DJ, you would going after these records. I said it has to be a better way. Because now I'm going, you know, I'm traveling, I gotta go to work, I'm traveling to and from companies, and I heard about a record pool, Disco Den Record Pool. Disco Den Record Pool was on 125th Street. It was run by a guy named Dennis Franklin. And Dennis Franklin, this was a black record pool, urban record pool. So this is my first record pool. I'm trying to get in. I'm not even an official DJ, okay? I'm not even working at a club. And he said, well, I'll have you work here and I'll give you the records. So I was piling the records up, putting them in the bins and all that, and I would get my stack of records every week. My first introduction to a professional system where the professional DJs were getting their records. And let me tell you, a record pool was not something that anybody could get in. You had to be working in a club, a hot club, all right, not a dive. You had to have a corporate letter stating that you were the house DJ for that club, all right, and it had to be stamped with their corporate seal. Then you could apply. Right? When you fill out the application, then they decide whether they want you or they don't want you. It was the elite of the elite. You had David Mancuso had the loft. You had Julie Weinstein for the record. And you had Disco Den. And these were the three record pools. Now imagine that if you wanted to categorize it, you would say that the loft was village type DJs. And Judy Weinstein was more a crossover of gay clubs and Fire Island and stuff like that. And Disco Den was all the urban clubs. None of the record pools worked together. This was all separate. Companies found a way. I'll give you 50 records. You give it to 50 DJs. My record's out there promoting. And this is how they promoted records. To take it to a place where I left Disco Den and started Shure Record Pool. I started Shure Record Pool in the projects, 965 Tintin Avenue. And the reason why I started there, because how hard it was for me to get in the record pool in the first place. I said, we need a record pool for guys who work in little clubs like I did. And that's when I started Sure Record Pool. And I started it, and I was going to different bars. I would go to different little hangouts and go Garden of Roses, Riddlers, PCs, Epoca. I was going to all these places and go in there and talk to the DJ. Why don't you join my record pool? I'll give you some records. So look, Kool Herc, African Bambaataa, Jazzy J, Funkmaster Flex, Kid Capri, all members of my record pool. So only guys, now they're getting records from a record pool because none of the other record pools will allow them to go in. Understand that even though these clubs were not official discos, they weren't a disco, they were a room, and they allowed the DJ to play. So if you have a bar, and then the bar you have some tables and chairs, move the table and chairs out the way, put a mirror ball on the top, and there you go, you pop it Friday and Saturday, $5 cover charge, and everybody's coming in. So these guys, I would find them working in these clubs, and I became their source of giving them the records. It's incredible to see how the music changed and what happened once they have access to these records. Because now they were getting records that the other guys were getting, and they probably wouldn't even play it. Because these guys were taking pieces of the record and bringing it back and forth. Because if anybody understands our makeup, our DNA, our makeup, percussion is something that drives us. If you listen to any Latin record, when that break comes on the Latin record, boy, we're dancing with the girl, turning around, we're doing it's the same thing when we hear any other record. So this percussion beat was something that these guys used not only to incite the crowd, but to talk to the crowd, to rap over the records. So I became one of the first record pools to be able to break hip-hop record in this manner. I've gotten about 60, 70 plaques, gold and platinum plaques, for all the work that I've done with different artists. I received the Rap Record Pool of the Year 3 years in a row. Because my thing was just good music. That's it. Good music. Eddie Rivera was doing his thing with IDRC. Richie Hernandez was doing his stuff at his pool. Bill Rickey was doing something in Jersey. I organized all the black record pools in the country and put a sheet together called the Urban Tip. Because the most important thing that we needed to do as DJs was to tell the companies how the record was doing. And Billboard magazine had a system, and they had like Jelly Bean, Tony Humphries, T. Scott. They had all these guys were Billboard reporters. So when a record came out, Billboard knew about it because they were reporting to Billboard what's hot for them. When I became a Billboard reporter, it changed my whole life, because then I understood the importance of me not only playing a record, but me telling a magazine like Billboard, this is what I like, this is what my crowd likes, and there's a hot record. What happened? The top 100 singles on Billboard. What happened? The rap single sheet on Billboard. Everything changed because now they see a diversity, because they had the rock and roll already locked in. But now, and then they had the dance already locked in, but they saw diversity, which they capitalized on. Even the record stores now, there's the rap section. So they had all this stuff set up because we took the initiative to be able to promote this even further. It is impossible. It's impossible to fathom that DJs can play any of the music that they had without getting it from a record pool. At that time, they will have to be making some major money to be able to afford to buy the records. And remember, They came out with a 12-inch single much later. So they were giving you an album. We were getting acid tapes, test pressing, on a reel. We were getting all that stuff. When somebody wanted to give you a record and you were in a hot club, I mean, T. LaRock was a favorite in my club. I used to play in La Mirage. And when I played in La Mirage, Jazzy J, T. Scott, man, almost all the rappers came to my club because I grew up with them. So I give them the mic, and they used to drive the club owner crazy. Because he said, why are you giving this guy the mic? And I said, they always said, I'll play a beat, play a beat. And I play a beat for me, they on the mic. I could say that crossing over the DJ, the MCs into Latin clubs and everything was a very pivotal point for me to do with the DJs that I knew and with the friends that I had. Because Latin clubs wasn't going to play any hip-hop records, bro. I don't care what you say. It took the DJ to go and have the initiative to break it. Our influence in being able to foresee good music and be able to open the doors for everybody to listen to music is so immense. It is stuck right in there. There is no way that you can go and say that the music, let's say the music, all right? Because what's a hip-hop record? A hip-hop record is a beat. So it's a beat first. So the music, there's no way that you can say that that music was not given to you from somebody other than buying it in the store. And think about it. I've had conversation with several people. How can you get in the Copacabana? You couldn't get in the Copacabana unless you talk to Tony Gio. How can you perform in there? How can you perform in the Palladium? You couldn't perform in the Palladium unless you talk to Vito Bruno. And this is every hip-hop person wanted to break into that area. If you really want to take a look at how far this thing, look at reggaeton. What is reggaeton? Reggaeton is hip-hop with a damn beat. No matter what you say, it's still the same thing. And look how massive it is. So, Hispanics in hip-hop? Come on, man.